necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to Beyond the Money. I am Martelli with Kaizen Family Financial Consultants. In our show, we focus on the most important aspects of finance. We talk to interesting, qualified individuals, company representatives, entrepreneurs about complex financial concepts. Together, we break them down to easy to understand language. Our focus is to help you understand how to use these concepts to achieve your goals. And enjoy the peace of mind knowing that you have made the right financial decision. Come join us every Friday evening. Welcome to Beyond the Money. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. It's our first show, and we are honored. I am incredibly honored to have Lynn Lissell with us. Lynn is a transformational coach. She's known as the identity coach because when you meet with her, she truly helps you find your true identity. Lynn, I am honored again once more to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do and why you do it, perhaps.
Well, I never actually set out to be a coach. I'm a certified health and life coach, and I believe it's so important for everything that we do because of my own journey to tap in to the deep inner self that we may not know that we have, because the most important thing that I discovered about myself was what I didn't know. When I didn't ask myself specific questions, I never came up with those answers. And when I finally figured that out, it really was very life-changing in all areas of my life. And so my mission is to be able to work with other professionals to maximize their success to levels beyond what they thought they could even reach by discovering their inner power.
Well, folks, there you have it. You are in for a great show. Please stay with us as we are speaking over important things. Our show is really about giving value. We want to give value in your finances, value around your life, things that's going to really make a positive difference. And Len is a fitting guest for our first show because she's an example of that. She gives value first. She's not really looking for, I would say, the money. She gives value first, and every time I have a conversation with her, I've always left, much better than I was before, and it's incredible.
Thank you.
Len, today I want to take us around the things that you do in regards to stress. We know, hey, it's Friday. That's when people distress. That's when people want to relax and enjoy a glass of wine, perhaps, a beer, something, whatever you do for fun that Friday evening for those of us who look towards to TGIF. But we want to talk about important concept on that evening. We want to talk about, again, finances, stress, things that you've really gone through over the week. Maybe the week went super fast. How much is that costing you around your life?
Well, that's a great question. What is stress costing us in our life? Well, we typically don't think about that. I myself, in my own journey, never really thought about me. I was give 100% on the job, perform 300% to get your paycheck, and at the end of the day, it wasn't about me. It was about going home and all the things that I had to do at home. So in the course of this journey, what I really learned when I started to learn about looking inward, how to get rid of that stress. Well, what did stress cost me in my career? It cost me my identity. Because at the end of the day, I really didn't know who I was. I was wearing so many different hats that when you're constantly changing from role to role to role and constantly shifting the energy that you're using from job to job to job, whether it's your job as a parent or a job at work, or maybe you're even an adult going to school while you're doing all the other things, eventually, how much energy is left? Do we think about me time. So for me, it cost me. And when I figured that all out, I ask myself now, what do I want before I do something? Because I'm giving myself and what I feel and what I want for myself value. So it may not cost me money, but it does cost me time and value of that time. Because in that time, I get to think about other things in the order in which I want to think about them. Well, when you free all of that tension and you're exerting less energy that wears you down, how much more can you do in your business?
Oh my gosh, a lot more, a whole lot more.
Okay? And not only that, but think about it when you're worn and you're tired and you're out there trying to build your business and make sales, other people might be able to sense what you're feeling but don't think is on the outside. So if you're now energetic, thinking about yourself and thinking about what's going to be beneficial for everybody involved, not only yourself, that also gets felt from the people that you're talking to. And suddenly people want to know more about you. And when they learn more about you and they get to know who you truly are, they get to know, like, and trust you. Building your business builds your finances. The more finances you have, the more you can allot it properly, and it can affect all areas of your life.
That's an incredible, incredible advice. And to come to that conclusion, that must have been a journey. That took a while.
Yes. Nothing is easy. Most often what sounds easy is probably the most difficult. But my personal opinion is the things that are difficult are probably the most beneficial in the long run, because that's where you're going to get value. It's about creating new habits. And when we think of a habit, we may think about the way we write, the way we dress, maybe an exercise that we do. That's not just the only thing. Think about the daily habits. Most of us probably get up and go right into the bathroom and then right to the bathroom sink to brush our teeth, right? Wash our face, get ready for the day. Do we think about doing that?
No.
Do we
It's automatic.
work hard at it, right? It's automatic. How would it feel to just go through every day automatically just being you and using the most positive energy that lifts you up? Who else might benefit from that?
Everyone around you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's very interesting that you mentioned that. It reminded me of a story of a friend that I have. He's a physician. His name is Wagner Lalan. He's a doctor. His practice is down in Miami. And he was a doctor, or he is a doctor, was taking care of all his patients, wasn't taking care of himself. He went to have a routine check when they keep paying him to have one. And upon that routine check, he found out that he had cancer. Terrible, terrible news to receive while you are in life, going through the motions of life, putting everything else above you. You come last. You're not being taken care of. To come facing that crushing reality. Long story short, he didn't end up overcoming his ailment, and he survived it. But afterwards, what he learns, what he says now, if you see him, is all about, okay, you always have to take a little moment for yourself. As much as you want to take care of everyone, as much as you want to put everyone else before you, unless you have the energy, unless you are getting the best return on your own self, you cannot take care of everyone for so long. You will crash.
And many times we go way beyond that crash point before we even recognize it. And it is important And we've talked about this. You know, that's why I created Me Monday, right?
Absolutely. Well, for me, I know what Me Monday is about, and I have implemented a little bit of Me Monday. But for our guests, our listeners, people who are watching us currently may not know what Me Monday is. Would you mind share a little
Oh,
bit?
sure. I believe that we have to start a habit somewhere. And I decided to just proclaim a day. And I picked Monday because that's a great way to start the week, right?
Right.
Fuel yourself, fuel your week. And I decided to trademark it because people weren't taking me seriously. They were saying, why Monday? Monday's the worst day of the week. I'm not sure how it got the bad rep, but let's just say, okay, well, I trademarked it so that it's now officially a day on the calendar every week, and it's been over 2 years. And people are actually telling me how they're looking forward to Monday because it's time that they schedule something, no matter how small it is, just time for themselves.
It's official, Me Monday. So don't feel bad if you want to wake up on Monday and not want to do anything for an hour, not want to do anything. Just, put that time, a set amount of time for yourself and really enjoy and get to know yourself, get to truly know who you are, find out who you are, because in there, that's where all the good things are. That's what, what is already bestowed into you is in your identity. Money can't buy it. Nothing can bring it out unless you really know and you discover your purpose there.
Well, I think anybody in business, Martelli, has heard the expression, people buy who you are, not what you do. So how can they buy who you are if you're not really sure what the answer to that question is, right? Or if you think you do and you find out, you can elevate that and continue to elevate that. Then now people are going to just see an even better you and an even better you. That can only build your business.
I agree 100%. Are you a business owner? Are you in business? You are watching us right now wondering, well, do I know who I am? Do you have doubt on who you are? Well, we're glad to have you. Stay in. We're going to discuss a little bit of that. More importantly, Lynn, we want to tie in with how does not knowing who you are, not having your true identity, the stress that you're putting on yourself or that others are putting on you, but you're not watching, you're taking a lot on your plate. How does that affect your finances, your money? Because again, this show is called Beyond the Money. We want to look at beyond the numbers, beyond just making a dollar, making a living. How do we grow from there? How do we truly impact ourselves? And how much of value, money, time is money, correct? How much of that is costing us to not being who we are, to not knowing who we truly are?
Well, that's a great question. When we're looking at our finances, no matter how simple our finances are,
Or complicated.
Do we stress about it? Do we get anxious? Do we worry about maybe where some money is coming from, or how are we going to pay this bill, or will we be able to pay it on time? Or, okay, we have this little bit of extra money. What are we going to do with this money to make sure that it grows for us later on? Or how are we going to make sure that we're covered if we get sick? There's a whole list of questions that we may ask ourselves, right? For me, when I was raising my kids and they were younger, it was a bonus for us to have some extra money just to buy pizza for dinner one night. That was a big celebration for us. So that meant I worried a lot about money. And that cost me a lot because it drained my energy. And it distracts some of our focus on the things that we would really want to put 100% focus on. So what would it be like if we just said, okay, we can pay our bills, we're going to organize it, and we're going to go with it, and we're not going to worry about later. We're just going to take everything day by day. You can plan, You can have money coming in that you're planning. You can hire somebody to help you. One of the things that's great to take something off your mind is making sure that you have the right insurances in place in case something unexpected comes up, because that's what insurance is for, right? The unexpected. Often we end up having circumstances that come into play, and we thought we were saving money. We didn't think about what would happen if something unexpected happened, and then all of a sudden, maybe it's costing us more stress, more energy, and more money because we didn't take the time to think about what we really want to do before. So it's up to us. The facts outside of us don't change. The fact that we all need money, money's a necessity, right? The fact that we all need to have a job, we all need to have some kind of money coming in order to survive, yes, that's a given. But everything outside of us is a fact we can't change. And so we need to look inward, because that's the only place we have 100% control, and that's how to reduce the stress.
I agree 100%. And if I may ask this question, what does worrying does for you? When you worried, does it solve the problem? Do you end up coming with a solution? Of course, the answer is no, it doesn't. In fact, you cannot really find a better solution while in a state of being worried. So one of the first things you want to do is calm down, take it easy. Hey, over a glass of wine, not on Monday, Tuesday, when the week is so busy, so bustling. In this time when you relax, it's really when you have the most creative approach to solving problems. You are 100% calm. You can really step back and look and really understand, how am I going to change this problem? And we are all about planning. We are all about thinking ahead, because normally with anything that you don't plan, you end up somewhere that you don't want to be. And with anything that you plan, you give yourself a better chance of achieving those goals, even though there are other uncertainties. But planning is really peace of mind, folks. It's really peace of mind. What is peace of mind costing you? Can you put a number on it? What value does that have for you? And those are some of the things we want you to ponder upon while you're relaxing in this Friday evening.
I think a great question to ask is, if you were to reduce your stress and be able to find that relaxing space, who else might benefit from that?
That's a great question. Really, who else? I think for me, of course, my family, my surroundings, everyone you come across will benefit from having a great positive energy, will benefit from seeing a calm person, a collected person. If you worried, people are wondering, okay, why are you so worried? What is it going to do for you? Imagine you try to hide being worried. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It shows up in some kind of way.
I think most often we think that we're hiding things inside. And if it would be all right, I'll just share a short story. I was going through a lot of difficult times. This is over a decade ago. And I came from the West Coast to the East Coast and visited with some friends of mine that I knew from years before. I hadn't seen them in a long time. And they said to me, now I'm thinking I'm all happy and I'm speaking to these friends I haven't seen in a long time, and everything is normal.
Yes.
And they said to me, what's going on, Lynn? The light in your eyes is gone. And I was like, wow.
They can see that.
How can they see that? Because I wouldn't have thought there was anything obvious at all. And that was probably part of what really started me on the depth of the journey to really look inward. You need to get that sparkle back.
Were they right? Were your friends right?
Absolutely. And I think the hardest part about that was knowing that I wasn't as good at hiding it as I thought I was. But it was life changing to hear that, because at that moment, that's when I realized no matter how much I was great at covering things up, and I was worried about money, I was worried about my kids, I was worried about a whole series of things. And yet, it was obvious that other people saw it. He might have been the only one that was brave enough to say it,
Oh my gosh.
you know? And then his wife said, "Yeah, I see what you're talking about." And I'm like, really?
I must ask, are you grateful for that friend who pointed that out?
Oh, I'm grateful for a lot of people who have given me the support along the way. I'm so grateful for that because, as you can tell, even though it was so long ago, it's not something that I forgot. And it's something that I keep at the forefront with me because I think whatever light they saw in me is the light that other people see in me. And that's been life changing for me because everything gets better every day. It doesn't really matter what it is, it could be something really small. But I don't think I'll ever let the light go out of my eyes again.
And folks, if you know Lynn, when you get to know her, I'm sure she'll come back to as a guest in our show. She is an illuminated person. She's truly a light bulb who's lit and who's really trying to put the life in other people's path. And that's a wonderful thing. And we're very grateful for the people in our lives who are brave enough, who cared enough to bring us to the point where they can say, hey, what's going on? For Len, it was the light in your eyes is gone. When someone tells you that, don't get upset. Accept it. Truly, there is truth in that, and there is change in that. If we want to get in, if somebody is listening here, they want to get in touch with you, Len, how would they be able to do that?
Well, the quickest, easiest way is you can look up my website and you'll learn a little bit more about what I do. It's itzwhy.com. So my business is It's Why, because I believe the why is at the foundation of everything we do, our personal why. Or they could call me at 561-717-3090.
And Len is not telling us one more thing. She started something really great recently, and I could not go here to not just put a few minutes to tell us about Inner Power Partner. I am a member in Inner Power Partner, and it's a great, great organization. Would you share a little bit about Inner Power Partner?
Sure. So, Inner Power Partners is a group that I created to be able to bring the best of everything that I got to experience in other groups. So I took kind of like piece from piece from piece, made my own recipe. And the idea was that so many of us over the last couple of years now are going through so many transitions, so many changes, so many pressures, so many stresses. And the major complaints are that they have high stress, they're struggling to build their business, and they don't have support, or they feel like they don't have support, right? It's kind of hard to feel like you're a one-person show.
Absolutely.
So the idea was to bring professionals together in a group where it's all around support. So it's not about just handing out business cards. It's about really getting to know the people and learning a different way to be able to build know, like, and trust relationships that help you flourish in all areas of your life.
And I can tell you, folks, if there is an Inner Power Partner in your area, check it out. And if you want one in your area, I encourage you to visit the website. It's why.
Actually, you can go to innerpowerpartners.com.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. I like that. One other thing I'll tie this with before we go in a commercial break, and we're going to have a new guest coming up. It was going to be talking to us about taxes. It's the right time. We want to know how to prepare for our taxes. But I really want to thank you, Lynn. It's with an outpouring of gratitude to have you here. Being on the show, being our first guest, again, it's an honor. We really thank you. And folks, if, as you heard what stress is costing you about in your life, in your finances, in your business, it literally go across everywhere. Once you're a stressful person, it affects every area of your life. And if it's around the finances, we are able to help you. Everything we do is about protecting families, businesses, individuals from suffering from ailment, from suffering financial pressure, from ailment, disability, long-term care events, improper planning for retirement. So we specialize. We specialize in life insurance, all kinds, whether it's term, whole, universal, final expense, all kind of life insurance, long-term care, disability income replacement, and retirement planning, annuities. And we want to be able to help you. Give us a call at 954-399-7878. And if you have a question while the show is live, we encourage you to call. Our number is showed up on the screen. We encourage you to call. If you have additional questions for Lynn, please reach out. We'll make sure your question get answered. You can call us now at the 888-565-1470. And we really appreciate you spending this time with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It is an honor and a pleasure to be able to support you.
Thank you. And folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Looking for a cool, laid-back space with great people and even better drinks? You can't lose. The Artful Dodger, Boca Raton's hidden gem. A good, old-fashioned local bar is hard to come by, but not anymore. The Artful Dodger is a fun, casual place to sit back and relax. Located at 495 Northeast 20th Street in Boca Raton, you'll find your new favorite bar. Artful Dodger. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Beyond the Money, folks. It's an incredible honor. Again, we had Lynlissa with us for the first half of the show. She told us about what stress is costing us around our lives, around our finances. And now I am very excited to bring into you a great guest, a great friend who is doing a wonderful job in taxes. And folks, what an incredible time. It is the end of the year. We know our tax season is coming up. So it is fitting for us to bring you a guest that's going to talk about taxes and what to do, how to prepare. I am a financial advisor. I'm not a tax advisor. I still have questions on taxes. So we are happy to bring in John. John, welcome. And tell us a little bit about just, your story. How did you get to taxes, who you are, where your office is, and we will take it from there.
Okay. Let's see. Tax, for me, I started back in 2010. I opened my own firm in 2013, and I've been at the same location. It's in Green Acres, Florida, and I've been there for almost 7 years now. Well, been doing taxes for 10, but been there for 7 years now.
That's wonderful, man. What got you into taxes? It's just something that I don't wake up and want to do taxes.
No, I know. Well, the first thing that got me into taxes was that I was working at this firm, and I didn't like the way the practice was going. And I wanted to make a difference in what I was doing, and especially to help my community because, with taxes, there's a lot of, fraud and stuff like that with taxes going, and I feel bad, when a client of mine come in front of me and be like, hey, this is what happened to me, and, it shouldn't happen. If it was done proper in the first place, it shouldn't be like that. And then I see that we didn't really have much, to help those clients in those, type of needs, because a lot of people that do taxes just do just the basic, just fill the A to Z and send you on your way. After that, whatever happened after, you're on your own. But I wanted to be not just the person to feel it, but the person to there with you if something happened along the way, to be able to guide you through it. And then there's a lot of that out there.
I appreciate that, and I thank you very much for doing that. It is truly part of the reason why I opened my firm, Kaizen Family Financial Consultants, because I want to serve the underserved community, the person who need the help, but maybe they don't have the money or certain things, and other big firms don't want to look at or work with them. And I don't think that should be the case. And I appreciate people like yourself who's really stepping up in the community to do that. And having done this for 10 plus years, obviously you've seen a lot of things. Most commonly in our state of Florida, there are a lot of fraud. Can you tell us, how do we protect our information from it being stolen?
All right. Well, the easiest way to protect your information is always to do background on whoever you're going to give your information to, whether it's over the phone or whether it's in person. It always best, you know who you're going to provide your information, because your social is pretty much everything. The moment they have your social, they could get everything else in regard. You could lose your ID, that's okay, but you lose your social, they get everything tied to your social. So basically, if you're going to speak with somebody, or if you're gonna give your information to somebody, it would be best, you do your due diligence to not just give your information to anybody. And sometimes, it will happen, because sometimes people don't have control over it. Let's say you receive a phone call, somebody said, oh, I'm from the IRS, and then please verify this. And you thinking in your mind, you verifying your social with that person, but actually they're actually taking your social when you're doing that, you know what I mean? So it's best, you always do your due diligence. One thing I like to tell people, IRS never call you. They will never call you. Don't matter if you owe them $1 or $10 million, IRS will not call you. They'll send you an email. They will send you an email and let you know, hey, this is what I need from you. And then if IRS were to call you, they will schedule a time on your own time for them to call you. But they will not just call you out of the blue like that.
There you go, folks. Please, please, please do not fall for scam. IRS will never call. They will never call you, no matter who you are. And John, tell us, it's tax season is coming up. Some people are excited for the money. Others, it's a stressful time to bring all kind of documents around. Do you have a system around that you help your client with on how to prepare and not wait for the last minute?
So most of my clients, so what I do, I have tax planning. Due to the fact I do a lot of business taxes, a lot of the client, usually I'll be like, hey, I need this paperwork. Be like, I don't have it. I don't know where I put it. So what I do is I have something set up on my website to where they just upload those information like as time goes. So that way, like when the time come and I need that paper, all I have to do is just go to the website and be able to get that information, and they don't have to go look for it. And for my regular clients, I always tell them, like, anything that you receive for taxes, it would be best like if you have like a pantry or folder. If it says tax on it, drop it in there. So when the time comes and then I ask you for that paper, and then I'm able to receive it. So what's going on with the IRS right now is that now the IRS usually take a long time for them to correct the tax year. Now you get a tax year corrected while the season is still going. That's how fast it's going. I have a client, he sent me all his paperwork. One paper he didn't send. IRS audited that tax and now he owed. But I will fix it, but it wouldn't happen that if the client, provide me with that information to where I have to go back and redo that same work again. You see what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So it's best, I always tell my client, do your tax planning so that way if you can't do it, my office could do it for that client. But most clients, choose to still do their own tax planning and set up everything that they would need for the tax season. But I always said, like, when those things are coming, some people thinking like, hey, I'm gonna get some money. Most of my clients, they're gonna owe some money. So they come to me to make them owe as less as possible. So it's a bit different. For businesses, if you could save 500, 1,000, that's a blessing. But for the regular folks, if they could get 1,000 or 500, it's a blessing. So it's a win-win, on both parties. But since I'm mostly dealing with business, so it's a bit different. So they already know, like, hey, I can't keep up with this, or I have truck drivers, I have people who have small businesses with little employees that they can't keep up with. So that's why I have my tax planning in regard to that. So that way, they always ahead, with everything. So when tax season come, they'll be able to get everything done and they don't have to worry about anything. I'll just take care of it.
I appreciate you saying that. Now, of course, we know planning. That's exactly what we do here. We plan. We help you plan financially. If you need, when you need us, we are there for you. When you plan, folks, as you go through life becomes easier. And if you don't, we all know too well what takes place. It becomes a lot harder. Now, for business owners, what does it cost them? Maybe money, maybe time, but what does it cost them for them to miss the tax deadline, to have to file for extension? What does that mean for them?
Okay, for a business owner, when you mix a tax deadline, IRS tax you for the whole year for that business, on the top of the money you are going to owe them. A good example, like myself, I missed a tax year one time, and then after I paid my payment, I received a letter be like, you owed X amount of dollars. I'm like, how? But I totally forgot. I totally forgot to send in my own paper. And I'm like, so that's what happened. You know what I mean? So it happens. But because people have a lot of things going on, especially nowadays, some people have family. Like if you let's say you have employees, about 10, 15, 20 employees, and then you have other, team members that's with you. There's a lot going on. So yes, things would, pass
We'll
without
slip
you knowing.
through the crack. Guys, listen, Lynn reminded us earlier, we can be taking care of a lot of people, but if we're not taking care of ourselves,
Exactly.
we're not giving the best of ourselves. We're not having the best version, for lack of a better word, of ourselves. Therefore, we cannot function to our full potential. And yes, it does cost you money in your case, and other. But when it's time, who wants to deal with the IRS?
Nobody. Nobody wants to.
we need the IRS. They are absolutely essential to our country, to our government, our economy, but they are not the easiest people to deal with.
No, no one wants to deal with the IRS. When it comes to the IRS, IRS has a pretty straightforward way they go about stuff. Like, provide me with what I need, I'll leave you alone. That's all it is. You don't provide it, then now you put way for me to start asking you questions. And that's what a lot of people don't get. If you're going to tell IRS I have A through Z, don't leave a letter out. Give them A through Z, then they don't have to worry about you, But if you leave one letter, they'll be, okay, what happened to letter D? Now they make it go back it'd be like, okay, A didn't look right. So that's how it happens. So it's whenever you're not, being straightforward or you file a paper incorrectly. That's why I said if you don't know how to do something for the IRS, it's always best you seek professional help due to that fact, because if you make any mistake, it could cost you a lot of money.
Guys.
And my own brother lived through that.
Oh my goodness. And we all know a lot of people who've been through that, who think maybe they can outsmart the IRS, hide stuff. It's not worth it, to be honest with you.
No,
it really
it doesn't.
not. John, tell us about the new tax laws. Of course, we have a new government in place, the Biden administration. What have they done? What have they done around taxes, either for business owners, individuals, either that are beneficial or something that we should be looking out to? What are some of the updates that we should be looking out to?
The only updates they have right now is just to update the tax bracket. Usually every year the tax bracket updated. It raised a little bit higher to lower your taxable income. The standard deduction also raised a little bit. They didn't raise it much. I think they raised it by the single raised by 500, the head of household raised by 1,000, and married filing jointly raised by 1,500 from their previous year of what they were. As far as the tax bracket for, as far as what you paid, 10%, I think it's 21,000. 12% is 21 to 63. 14% is 63 to 80. 22% is 80 to 167, and 30% is 167 to 320, and then 320 and up is about 32%. So what people usually look lower is to get their taxable income lower than those amount I mentioned.
Right.
So the lower it is, the lower your taxable income is. So that's what people usually look at, and that's why if you do a good tax planning, you will always be able to get a lower taxable income to where you pay the IRS. If you pay in the IRS, you pay less, or if you're receiving more. The more you make, the less you get, and
John,
the more you make, the more you pay. If you're a business owner,
we're not even gonna get into the politics of paying. The more you make, but it's appreciate you sharing that with us. How would people reach into you? How would people reach out to you? If they need you, if they interested, have a question, they want to work with you, how would they do that?
they could always reach me through my website, which have all the information of my company, which is knowledgetax.com, or they could reach me to my business phone, which is 727-859-7752, or they could reach me at my email, which is knowledgetaxllc@gmail.com. Those are the three ways to reach out to me. And like I said, I'm always ready to answer any questions anyone have. Consultation's always free in regard to know what to do for the tax season, what can I plan for the tax season coming. I'm always available for that. That's the best way to reach me.
Well, we hope 1 million people reach you. So, guys, seriously, if you do have any question, if you do have any concerns around your taxes, as you have heard, he's a professional. Please consult a professional. Don't do this on your own. Do not do this on your own. It's just not worth it. It put more stress than necessary. And if you're comfortable, you know what you're doing, then by all means, go for it. John, one of the other things I want to get into is this show is about beyond the money. Now, we think of some people when they have the taxes come in, it's a time to spend it. They want to spend it. They want to buy, replace furniture, do certain projects. Nothing wrong with that. But what are some of the things that people have used their tax money for? To build the wealth, to do certain things that are incredible. Do you have any story, any example that you could share with us?
What I have is I have a few clients. The clients that do save, like what I always explain to my client too, if you were to do your taxes, whether you're a business owner um, or whether you're a regular individuals, if you make some money, I always said like to put your money towards, you could do an IRA account, which is a sort of investment account. It's taxed. You pay your tax ahead, so whatever grows on it, it's tax free whenever you're taking it out at the age of 59.
And a
There's 59
and
and
a
a
half.
half. They don't really count the half, really,
Okay,
believe it.
all right,
But,
all right.
yeah, but at
We
the
just
age
have to
of
give the
59,
information.
you would get that, because it's tax free. Where for 1K you get tax on it as you put it. And when
Qualified
you're about
money.
going to take it out also as well. If you take it out before time, you get taxed twice on it. So that's the difference with it. Or they have other things like there is S&P 500s that I told people that they could just put money there too as well. Instead of just go ahead and take that money, one thing they have a lot of people don't understand is like there's something called compound interest. You know, those are those are your best friend if you want to save for the future. Like even if you don't want to do anything big where it's like purchasing something to make something out of it or opening a business, but those are the way that you could save for the future is by doing just these two little things. You know, imagine you could put $7,000 somewhere every year, and then it's tax free. Whatever money you get on top of it, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of it? You know.
Well, that's a great question. Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of it? And on the other hand, as John have mentioned, you can do IRA for the children. More importantly, when you have children, they have their taxes. Folks, please put some money away for them. Consider doing a custodial account. Consider doing maybe a 529 college planning, something. Put some of that money away that can grow with compound interest for that child.
And they all tax deferred.
They all tax deferred, guys. Now, two things. This show, again, is all about educating, adding value. Sometime for some of my clients, they used to not understanding what qualified and non-qualified means. Guys, qualified simply means you put the money. Think of it as qualified. The IRS is going to collect money. It's qualified to the IRS is going to get money. Normally, those dollars are pre-tax dollar that goes in there. It means in your gross income prior to you paying taxes, those money go in there. Non-qualified, you already pay taxes. In the case of a Roth IRA, you already pay taxes. So the money that you put in there is non-qualified. Just to throw some knowledge out there. And guys, if you have any question, we have roughly 8 minutes left in our show. If you have any question, as you can see our number in the screen, please feel free to call us. I want to add a little bit more. At Kaizen, what we do, we help you, help your family, have proper insurance, have proper planning, as we mentioned, and call us. We want to work with you. You want to give us a call at the 954-399-7878 or reach out to us via our website, thekaizenfinancial.com. John, I'll ask you a couple more questions unless someone call. I'll ask you a couple more questions. When someone is in trouble with the IRS, what's the best way for them to deal with it? Should they run? Should take the first
If
boat
you
to
have
Venezuela?
IRS sent you a letter, it's always best you respond to it. Don't ever take a paper from the IRS, be like, I'll deal with this later. It's best if you deal with it now, because everything IRS sent you, let's say if they said you owe money, it accrue interest daily. So as long as you keep putting it to the side, IRS don't mind. They're gonna keep adding money to it. So I always said, consult the CPA, consult. Don't go to, Joe down the street, it's best you could consult somebody that's like whether they are an enrolled agent or they CPA to help you with it. Because 99% of the time, IRS write you a letter is because there was a mistake that was made on the information you provided to them. Probably simple as you work 3 jobs, you only reported 2. The other job reported late, and they said, hey, Joe LLC said you work for them for so and so amount of money. You didn't report it to us. We're correcting it. You owe us this. To where you could have just take that paper to your tax preparer, and then they just amend your previous tax, and to where you probably wouldn't even owe anything. IRS probably would owe you. Like one thing that people need to understand is that IRS never tried to take any money from you. They'll give you whatever they owe you. So it's best if you just correct it and get everything, done properly. That would be the best option in regard to if you receive a letter from the IRS, don't be afraid of it. A lot of people scared of the IRS. They receive something, be like, oh, I got to pay it, or this is this, or they start panicking. IRS don't want you to really panic. I've been dealing with them for the longest. And us preparers, most preparers have dedicated line that they could call the IRS. We don't have the same. Unless the person who do your taxes is not an enrolled agent or a CPA, then it's a different story. But if they are, they have dedicated phone line where we called in, and then we question, be like, hey, I received something in regard to this client, and I'd like to help the client. What do I need to do? And the person on the end of the line, which is the IRS, they will tell you exactly what you need to send them. Once you get that, if it's going to be corrected, they don't owe, and it's just that. I have a lot of clients that comes to me and they said, hey, I received this is what happened, and I just called one phone call and I said, oh, they just made a mistake and we need this to be corrected. I corrected, nothing happened, and they on their way to go.
Yes, and it's good. And if anybody have called the IRS, many of us have. The line took it takes forever to get somebody on the line. Is it the same way for you? Have
No,
a dedicated line?
It's a bit different. Usually when I call so much because if I have a client that there's an issue, or let's say if they didn't receive their refund, I will call to make sure that client be like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? I call so much that if I get this lady called Lydia, she usually said, Mr. Ulysses, how can I help you? That's how bad it is. But yes, we have a different way of contacting, because when we contact, there's a special number that asks us that we provide.
I think I have a question that just came from our guest. He said, can you share that number with us live? I'm joking. I'm joking with you. It would be nice for all of us to have dedicated access line, but we are not all professional. Folks, again, we thank you for spending this time with us. If you like what we see here, give us a call. Call us directly. You can call my number, 954-399-7878. Or you can always reach out to us via website. We thank you very much, John, for being here. Thank you, Len, for coming
Nice to
earlier. It's great. And we're looking forward to do some show to really teach children the importance of finance, the things about finances. So we'll be making sure to have a show on that. We appreciate any feedback, anything you have to offer when it comes to that. But please prepare your children. We'll have the show, and we'll have all of our episodes posted live on YouTube. You can go to the Kaizen family on YouTube. And we thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy your Friday. Take away some stress, drink some wine, and really enjoy it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. If you choose to work with us, call us at 954-399-7878 or visit us at thekaizenfinancial.com.